Yeah, that happened. I'm literally recording this after the Academy Awards, and if you saw what happened during the show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Will Smith punching Chris Rock because Chris Rock made fun of his wife and her disease, and that was that's something for another time. Anyway, welcome to Time About the Movies. It's kind of hard to be focusing on what I want to do here before is because of what happened there. But anyway, that was interesting what happened. But like I said, let's save that for another time, maybe for another post down the line. But let's get to why you're really here. You're here because we're here to look at June 23rd, 1989, a significant day in the Hollywood box office of '89 because we had Batman come out. And the hype building up for Batman was pretty impressive for the time. When they first announced this movie, when they first announced that Tim Burton was going to direct it, and then Michael Keaton was cast as Batman, people were not that interested. People thought that it was going to be a bad move. It's because they didn't know what they were going to get. This movie had been in development for a long time because they had so many different versions. There's a version where it was going to be Bill Murray as Batman and Eddie Murphy as Robin, and Ivan Reitman was going to direct it, which, I'm not going to lie, would have been very interesting to see. But no, this is a serious version of Batman. Michael Keaton was cast, and Michael Keaton at the time was known for being a mostly comedic actor, so a lot of people were very skeptical about whether or not this would actually work. But let me show you the trailer that they showed in 1988 to shut those people down for good. So here is the teaser trailer for Batman.
Vicky Vale.
Hi. Bruce Wayne.
And what do you do for a living?
I'd like you to handle this operation personally. Me? Nice outfit.
Hold on a second. I can't make it then either. I've got a very important meeting today.
Don't kill me! Don't kill me! Don't kill me, man! What are you?
I'm Batman.
Lieutenant, is there a 6-foot bat in Gotham City?
Alfred, let's go shopping.
Jack is dead, my friend. You can call me Joker.
I feel a little drunk. And you're not anything.
Hey, one drink and I'm flying.
When you freak terrorizes, wait till they get a load of me.
Yep. After that, people shut up. People actually shut up. They actually got very excited for this movie, so much so that Batmania was a big thing in '89. People were stealing posters from buses and from bus stops. They were going to comic book stores and buying as many Batman merchandise as they can. I mean, Batman was a big deal in '89, and so this movie came out. This movie had a lot of hype and a lot of high expectations going into it. Jack Nicholson, who plays the Joker, was getting paid based off the profits of the movie. I think he was also getting a separate check as well, but I can't be sure on that. Actually, I've got the Wikipedia page right here just to see for myself. He had strict conditions that dictated top billing a portion of the film's earnings, so a portion of them, including the merchandise and his own shooting schedule. So there you go. That's how much Jack Nicholson got. He got a lot of money, and evidently he got a lot of money of this because this was a huge hit. And yeah, it's a pretty damn good movie. It's a pretty damn good movie because it gave us something unusual for 1989. We didn't have this generation now where we have superhero movies coming out all the time, and just most of them have been really good. There have been some that have been not so good. There was a period where it was very hard to find a good superhero movie. You had Superman the movie, and maybe Superman 2, but most of them were not very good. Even the Superman series died out pretty quickly, but Batman was a good movie. Batman was a really good movie. Tim Burton did a great job on this movie. I think he did a great job capturing the dark feel of the series that we haven't seen, of this character that we haven't seen before at this point. because of course this came before Batman the Animated Series, and this was actually inspired by Batman the Animated Series, and then the movies that came after that. And Michael Keaton was pretty good as was really good as Batman. I like his Bruce Wayne. I like his Batman. Man, I like that his Bruce Wayne could sometimes be just as chaotic as the Joker himself. There's that great scene where he's in Vicky's apartment and the Joker comes in and he just starts going crazy. He's just like, "You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts." It's just like, that's a great moment that I feel like was improvised, because even when you look at Jack Nicholson, he's like, "Whoa, this guy is too much." But of course, you got to talk about Jack Nicholson as the Joker, and Jack Nicholson is great in this movie. He's great as the Joker. He has so many great lines in here. Everyone talks about the lines of, like, "You are my number one guy" to Bob, and then him going to to his boss's office to kill him, and he's just like, "Jack is dead, my friend, but you can call me Joker," as he comes out with the face for the first time. My personal favorite Joker line in this movie is where they're at the city hall, and the mob bosses from all the other parts of I think it's the mob bosses from all the other parts of Gotham. They're trying to say that they've taken control of the Grissom Empire, and then Joker comes out of nowhere. He's just like, there's a scene before that where the mob boss is just like, I saw the contracts. I saw it's a legitimate procedure, and Jack Nicholson comes out and goes, "It is legitimate," and then he's just going off on this speech, and then he's like, It's like time to pay the check, and he just stabs him with the quill pen in the neck. That's a fun moment right there, and I'm sorry I didn't get the quote all the way through. I'm trying to think of this right off the cuff, and I literally completely forgot about it. Now, there are some things here that aren't the best. There are definitely moments that are still very debatable about whether I like them or not. Kim Basinger, I think, did fine as Vicky Vale. She is kind of a damsel in distress in this. She does similar things to, like, say, Kate Capshaw in Temple of Doom, but unlike Kate Capshaw, I think Vicky in this movie is actually much better. She's not just a straight up damsel in distress most of the time. She does help out in the story going through, and sometimes the visuals aren't as great as they should be, but I think that was kind of the point. Remember, this was made during the writer's strike of '88, so a lot of the things that they had to do probably couldn't be done. Speaking of the writer's strike of '88, one of the reasons for one of the scenes in the movie was because one of the writers couldn't finish it because he was on strike at the time. That was when they revealed that Jack Napier, Joker, is the one who actually killed Bruce Wayne's parents in the past. And I go back and forth on that. Some people don't like it. Some people do like it. I'm kind of in the middle on it. I think it works for this particular story. I don't think it would. I'm glad they just did it here and they didn't do it in any other movie. So, on the one hand, I like it, but I can see why people could be kind of so about it. But other than that, I had a blast. I always have a blast with this movie. I just watched it again recently so I can get myself ready for the recent Batman movie that came out, and it definitely delivered. It definitely delivered on everything that they wanted. The music is great here. Danny Elfman gives a great musical score to this. The visuals are very good. Sometimes the effects are kind of but again, that's kind of what they had to work with here. They didn't have a whole lot of they didn't really have a whole lot to work with, considering that this is a $48 million movie in 1989. That's like $300 million today, kind of. So, but yeah, Batman. Not much more I can say about it. It's a great movie. Tim Burton did a great job with it. Everybody did a good job with it. Fantastic movie. I don't think I need to say that you should check it out because chances are you probably have already done it. And, I guess that's it. I mean, no studio would be stupid enough to put out another movie against the movie with so much hype. There's absolutely no way another studio could be that stupid to do such...
It was a quiet Saturday morning.
Zelinsky! Give it a rest! It's Saturday!
Professor Wayne Zelinsky was hard at work on his new invention.
This thing works. It'll put us right up there with the invention of electricity.
That didn't quite work.
Did you get the machine to work?
A few more bucks to get out.
Then something quite unexpected
Where are
happened.
the kids?
I haven't seen them since I left this morning.
It shrunk the kids.
Nick, what happened?
It works. Diane, I got something real important to tell you.
Are you trying to tell me?
The machine works? Do the kids know?
Well, yeah, the kids know.
That's great!
It's not that great.
Why?
I shrunk the kids. And the Thompson kids, too. They're about this big. Threw them out with the trash.
What?
They're in the backyard.
Walt Disney Pictures presents The Last Frontier.
Dad can fix us, right, Nick? Sprinklers!
tell you, their size, it's a jungle out there.
Vicky, get out of there!
Now, while the professor is looking for the kids,
Just gotta keep our eyes open.
they're taking matters into their own hands.
I say that hand is ours.
They better behave themselves.
Something's very weird here. What is it? Earthquake!
Rick Moranis is Professor Wayne Zielinski.
Are you saying that machine blew
Blew up my kid?
Oh, no.
If the machine had blown up the kids, there'd be pieces of them everywhere.
Wayne?
Did you report some missing children?
Oh, there must be some mistake. Ours are in the backyard. Right, honey?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
We're all the size of boogers.
Well, of course, Disney is going to try to step in on Warner Brothers territory. Which, by the way, Walt Disney Picture T-shirt. I think it's a coincidence that I'm merely wearing this, because that was the next shirt up on that I took out. So, but anyway, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids I don't know why Disney thought that this would be a good idea to open it against Batman. It's kind of similar to opening up Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 at Warner Brothers, and then opening Winnie the Pooh at the same day, 22 years later, 2011. But unlike that one, this one actually did work out, because Honey, I Shrunk the Kids actually did become a big hit, and no one really saw that coming. So much so that for about 5 years, it was the highest-grossing live-action Disney film of all time. And you can kind of see why. I mean, it's a very goofy movie, but at times it can get very intense, like intense in a good way, like good 80s PG. This is 80s PG. 80s PG pretty much is way different compared to the PG that we have now. I mean, this is a movie that gets really intense, but at the same time, you're kind of enthralled by it. You're kind of in it. And you can see, and there's a lot of effort going into this movie. This is the directorial debut of Joe Johnston, who had previously done visual effects work on Indiana Jones and 1 and 2. Did some other movies as well, and this was his first movie as a director. And he did a pretty good job with it. I got to give him a lot of credit for what he was able to do with this project. And it's a ton of fun too. I like Rick Moranis in this movie. I like Matt Frewer playing the dad of the neighbor. I like these kid actors that are playing the kids in this movie, obviously. I like the visuals in this movie. I like that it feels like a movie that it feels dated for the time, but at the same time that good kind of dated, where it's just like, yeah, this is what you'd expect from the 1980s, and like they did a pretty good job making the backyard look scary as a tiny person. So, like, normally you wouldn't look at the backyard and be like, okay, that's not scary whatsoever. But then in this movie, it's just like, whoa, they really did a good job of making everything look bigger and scarier and more terrifying than what you would expect. I was never afraid of this movie when I was a kid, but I know a lot of people were, and I definitely can kind of see why. Like, maybe the one moment in this movie that I realize now is probably more terrifying than I could have imagined was the scene at the end where Rick Moranis is eating the Cheerios and the kid falls in and he's about to be eaten by the dad. It's just like, that's messed up. Like, it's like, if the dog didn't bite his leg, that kid would have been dead. That kid would have been dead. It's just like, But, you know what? That's why I love this movie so much. I love that it took chances. I love it wasn't toning it down for anything. I love that they said, let's just go for it. Let's have fun with this concept. And they did. They made a really great movie out of it. A really fun movie out of it. And they put a pretty good Roger Rabbit short at the beginning of it. I used to see it on the videotape for this movie when we used to rent it at the Farmore and Giant Eagle that we used to have here. And I think they actually put it on the regular VHS release in the 90s when they re-released it. Tommy Trouble is a great short. It's one of 3 Roger Rabbit shorts, and I was debating whether or not I should go deep into these shorts or not, but I will say that Tommy Trouble is a very funny short. It's a very funny short, well animated. It's everything you could expect from a Roger Rabbit short, just like the one from the beginning of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's a great short. Yeah, and packaged with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, this would have made a great this double feature package here. So anyway, yeah, that's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids for you. And with that said, that's going to wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. Next time around, we've got 3 more movies to look at. 2 that aren't as memorable as I think they were expecting, Karate Kid Part 3 and Great Balls of Fire. And then we get to one of my all-time favorite movies. Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing opens up. So we'll definitely delve into that next time around. That'll be up tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching this episode. And as always, if you want to see more of these videos, check out the playlist on the next page. Check out the previous episode I did, which was a full review of Ghostbusters 2. And I'll see you guys tomorrow as we wrap up June 1989 and head into the halfway point of the year. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and until then, take care.